Simha Darbar, literally the Lion Palace, the government secretariat of Nepal, is on my background. Nepal adopted a federal, secular, democratic system of governance about 7 years ago. Since this switch to federalism from a unitary system of governance, these lion palaces, these kinds of palaces have sprung up at provincial and local levels as well. That is what has become a center of concern for the Nepali taxpayer. The critics have been arguing without with much uh, proof to substantiate that the cost of running a government has increased with this switch to federalism, and people have been at the receiving end of this change, with them having to foot the cost of running such an expensive government. The idea behind this switch was to bring the government to the people, closer to the people at their doorsteps. But this is not what has happened. Today's soft talk aims to it will take on Simha Darbar, specifically Simha Darbar at the center, the federal government. So welcome to the program. The presentation is titled Enough is Enough. Every day, per government data, 1,500 youths leave the country in search of job opportunities abroad. This shows that even eking out a living has become a pretty tough job in this country, live alone, benefiting from the population dividend. Market prices are rising as ever, and the cost of living is going up accordingly. The Annapurna Express newspaper has repeatedly brought to the fore this ordeal of the commoner. A recent report titled Costly Existence states that lower middle class families have been finding it tough even to manage 2 square meals a day. With prices going northwards, students are having a tough time paying their fee. Our diagnosis of government-run hospitals presents a scary picture, indicating that these health facilities themselves pose a significant threat to public health, thanks to the lack of proper sanitation and other health and safety measures. The hospital diagnosis and the report about the measly existence of vulnerable populations point toward deepening a multi-pronged crisis. It is quite easy to blame some other extraneous factor for our crises, like the COVID-19 pandemic and growing international tensions, the Russia-Ukraine war in particular. the war have disrupted the supply chain to a great extent. But what have our governments done to lessen the impact of the pandemic and the war on the general public? What have they done to improve our health delivery system, a public health delivery system that's on sickbed? What have they done to protect vulnerable populations from an oncoming economic disaster that has already hit the neighboring economies of Sri Lanka and Pakistan quite hard? Not much. The Pushpakamal Daha-led 10-party ruling coalition has just completed its 100 days. For a political leadership used to running the government, there should be no luxury of a honeymoon period, especially at a critical juncture like this. The government should have launched measures to lessen public woes right away. Sadly, instead of taking the bull or the crisis by its horns, the seasoned political leadership has even failed to give the government a full shape. It has spent its precious time and energies on things that had nothing to do with providing much needed succor to the public. Keeping a ragtag coalition afloat somehow cannot be called an achievement. Even die-hard sycophants will shy away from describing the conduct of presidential and vice presidential elections as a huge feat on the part of the government. Amid deepening dissatisfaction against its performance, the government is presenting rather it has presented its policies and programs in the parliament. Rather than playing to the gallery, the government should take concrete action to protect the country from oncoming crises. Time to do that is running out. The government ought to wake up before it's too late. With this, we have come to the conclusion of this program. I request you to subscribe to this channel. This channel aims to promote citizen journalism. It aims to be your true voice, regardless of your political affiliations or other factors. It aims to be a true voice of Nepal and the Nepalese. We request you to subscribe to this channel, comment on our presentation, and press that like button down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.